Hey, what's up guys? Today is snowing, but I have to show you how to remove and replace the alternator on this Mercedes C200. If you tested the alternator and it does not charge the battery, you might try to inspect or replace the voltage regulator first. For that, there is a link in the description below. Before you go ahead and buy a new alternator, make sure that the battery is okay, there are no short circuits on the electrical system and the voltage regulator is still working. In my situation, I knew the alternator is bad since oil was leaking on it. Also, it's the original one with 200,000 kilometers on, which is the average lifetime of an alternator. So with that being said, place the car on jack stands on both sides. Then remove the bottom engine cover using an 80mm socket. And remove the supercharger and alternator belt by pressing on the tensioner with a torque socket number 10. Slide the belt off. Then with a 10mm socket, disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Now put some safety glasses on and go under the car where you will find the alternator on the passenger side. In order to make enough space to remove the alternator later, you have to disconnect the anti-roll bar, which goes all the way and connects the wheels. So the anti-roll bar, it's connected on the frame with two bolts on each side. Use the Torx number 13 and undo them. Then the anti-roll bar, which is also called sway bar, can be easily pushed away. Now you can remove the 13mm nut which holds the charging positive cable on the back of the alternator. Also disconnect the electric supply connector, and now the alternator is held on just by two large bolts. To undo those two bolts, it's basically the most difficult part of this job. Therefore take your time and find the best position to loosen them up. For that, I found out that the size of the socket needs to be somewhere between a short one and a long one. So therefore I had to cut my 16mm socket in order to get a perfect size. Now of course, if you want more space, you can remove the supercharger, and here is how it looks like with the supercharger off. You will basically gain more access to the left bolt, so I don't think it worth the time to remove the supercharger just to get a little bit more access to one single bolt. So therefore I'm gonna continue struggling to loosen them up from the engine bay until they both come out. There we go. With the alternator finally off, you can notice that the pulley on the new alternator spins more freely compared to the old one. Also notice that the pulley on the new alternator is smaller, therefore you have to use a slightly shorter belt in order to compensate the size gap. Before installing the new alternator, clean the contact points, since these will be the negative output terminal. In my situation, I just removed the oil, but if you have rust, use some sandpaper and wire brush until the metal is shiny again. When installing the new alternator, you have to wiggle it while pushing the bolt at the same time until the holes from the bracket matches and the bolt goes in. Then connect back the positive wire and the electric connector and torque the bracket bolts to around 28 foot-pounds. Install back the sway bar and torque the bolts to around 40 foot-pounds. Place back the plastic cover. Remove the jack stands and lower the car in order to install the belt easier from the engine bay. The size of the belt I used is 1440 millimeters in length, so just press on the tensioner and slide the belt on. Also make sure that it sits correctly on all the pulleys before starting the engine. Install back the air filter box, reconnect the battery, and now let's see the moment of truth. The ESP light can be removed by turning the steering wheel full right and full left with the engine on. Finally, there are no more codes from the alternator. So I'm gonna start it one more time, and over here you can see the voltmeter. I connect it to the battery. You can see it goes up to 14.9. Alright guys, that's how you install an alternator on this car. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, take care and I will see you soon.